This is Celebrity Thursdays. Every Thursday, we present you with another celebrity. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Sean Connery. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by alux.com. Today revealing some interesting and lesser known facts about Scottish actor and producer Sean Connery. Thomas Sean Connery was born August 25, 1930 in Edinburgh, Scotland. He was typically called Tommy or Big Tam in his younger years. He joined the Royal Navy in his late teens, but was medically discharged due to stomach ulcers. He had a variety of jobs before he discovered his passion for acting. He started as a stage actor and then took small television roles before moving on to film. He's best known for his 7-film stint as James Bond, but he's appeared in a number of successful films, including Robin and Marian, Highlander, The Untouchables, The Hunt for Red October, First Night, Finding Forrester, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He officially retired from the movie industry in 2006 at the age of 75, but he's made a few appearances since then. Connery has had an incredible 50-plus year acting career and has the riches and lifestyle to show for it. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at alux. We want to learn some more about Connery because we are inspired by his success, longevity, ambition, and talent. So, let's take a closer look now at this influential filmmaker with the 15 things you didn't know about Sean Connery. Number 1. He worked as a nude model and casket polisher before becoming an actor. Connery held a wide range of odd jobs before he began to make a living as an actor. He started out as a milkman when he was a teenager. After leaving the Royal Navy, he was employed as a lifeguard, a taxi driver, and even a coffin polisher. Perhaps his most interesting job was that of a nude model for art students of the Edinburgh College of Art. He earned about $40 per hour at today's valuation, which was 15 shillings at the time. Scottish artist Richard DeMarco, who was a student at the time, described Sean as being too beautiful for words, a virtual Adonis. Number 2. His salary for Diamonds Are Forever set a world record. Connery shattered records in the film industry when he agreed to come back as James Bond in the 1971 film Diamonds Are Forever. His base salary was $1.2 million plus 12.5% of net U.S. profits, totaling $6.7 million, which would have been close to $40 million at today's valuation. This was completely unheard of at the time and made the Guinness Book of World Records for the highest film payday for an actor in history. Just to put that into perspective, Daniel Craig made $24 million for Spectre. Connery ended up donating the entire salary to his foundation. Number 3. He turned down an opportunity to become a professional football player. Growing up, Sean was very passionate about playing football, or soccer if you live in the U.S. When Sean was 23, he was playing in a football match on tour with a Play South Pacific. He was unaware that there was a scout from Manchester United in the stands, and the scout was very impressed with Connery's football skills. He offered him a £25 per week contract on the spot if he agreed to sign with the team. Connery considered it, but thought he could have had a longer career if he stuck with acting. He later called it one of the most intelligent decisions he's ever made. Number 4. James Bond author Ian Fleming was not pleased about Connery playing Bond. Connery remained a relatively unknown actor until he was cast in the life-changing role of James Bond. Although he showed up to his audition looking disheveled and scuffy, he impressed the producers so much with his demeanor and his charisma, they decided right then and there to cast him. The author of James Bond, Ian Fleming, was not pleased, though, because he didn't think an unrefined Scotsman was right for the role. He wanted Cary Grant instead, but Connery changed his mind with his performance in Dr. No, and Fleming fully embraced him, even giving Bond a half-Scottish background in future novels. Number 5. His net worth is $350 million. Sean was paid just $17,000 to star in his first Bond film Dr. No, which jumped to $250,000 for From Russia with Love, $500,000 for Goldfinger, $750,000 for Thunderball, and $1 million for You Only Live Twice. Beyond his Bond films, he earned $4 million for The Hunt for Red October, $9 million for The First Night, $12 million for The Rock, $20 million for entrapment, $15 million for Finding Forrester, and $17 million for the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. These salaries and more have given him a net worth of $350 million. Number 6. Steven Seagal broke Connery's wrist while they were training together. American actor and martial artist Steven Seagal was working with Connery to teach him Aikido for the 1993 Bond film Thunderball. Steven and Sean held a training session at Connery's apartment, but he said that he got too cocky when trying to defend himself from Seagal, and Seagal ended up breaking his wrist by hitting him at a bad angle. Connery spoke about this during a 1996 interview on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and he said he never fully recovered from the injury. Number 7. His ex-wife accused him of not leaving their son any inheritance. Connery only has one child, a son named Jason, that he had with his first wife Diane Salento, who he divorced in 1973 after 11 years of marriage. Diane caused a stir in 2008 when she said in an interview that Connery refused to give any financial help or inheritance to his son, saying he insisted that Jason make his own way in the world. He also said Connery resented his son for using the name he made famous to further his own acting career. Jason, who is a respected actor and director, came forward to defend his father, saying that none of what his mother said was true, and that his father and he have a great relationship. Number 8. He stated in an interview that it's okay to hit a woman. Connery raised a lot of eyebrows and voices of protest when he boldly stated in a 1987 interview with Barbara Walters he thought it was okay to hit a woman if she needed to be kept in line or if she deserved it. This wasn't the first time he made such a controversial statement. He said almost the same thing when interviewed by Playboy magazine in 1965. Number 9. He wore a toupee for all of his Bond roles. Connery started losing his hair at the age of 17, a genetic trait that was shared by several of the men in his family. He started wearing a toupee in his acting roles, starting back in 1958, and wore a hairpiece for every Bond film he starred in. Privately, he was not self-conscious about going bald, and refused to wear a toupee in his everyday life. He also refused to wear a toupee in most of his other film roles after his Bond movies. Number 10. He lives in a private estate in the Bahamas. Connery prefers to live his life out of the spotlight these days, and one of the ways he's able to enjoy a low-key lifestyle is by retreating to his private estate in the Bahamas. He's lived in the privately gated community of Lyford Cay since the 1990s. Living in the elite community gives him access to tennis courts, a marina, a golf course, and a mile-long private beach. He's also owned residences in Scotland, London, New York City, and in Nice, France, which he listed the home for $22 million back in 2013. And here's a fun fact. The Bahamas made our list of the top 10 countries where you can start a new life. Click on the upper right-hand corner to check it out. Number 11. He shut down his production company in 2002. Connery opened the Fountain Bridge Production Company in Los Angeles in 1992. He named the company after the town he was born in Scotland. He had dreams of building a production company in Scotland, but never achieved that goal. He closed the doors of his production company in 2002 after producing a number of films, including The Rock, Entrapment, Finding Forrester, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Number 12. 16 people, including his wife, were charged with tax evasion when he sold his home. In 1999, Connery sold his house located in Marabella, Spain for around $7.5 million. 6 years later, he was accused of withholding about $7.5 million in taxes from the Spanish government due to tax fraud. After investigating further, police declined to charge Connery himself, but 16 other people involved in the sale, including his wife and his lawyers, were criminally charged. It was alleged that his wife had conspired with the attorneys and buyers to hide profits from the sale to lessen the tax burden. She faces a fine of up to $21 million and 2 years in prison if convicted. Number 13. He's the richest British actor. As we mentioned, Sean has a net worth of $350 million, which places him at the top of the list of the richest British actors. He's far richer than the second Brit on the list, Sir Anthony Hopkins, who has a net worth of $160 million. Rowan Atkinson comes in third with $130 million, and Robert Pattinson claims the next spot with a net worth of $100 million. Number 14. He lost around $450 million for turning down the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings producers initially asked Connery to take on the role of Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but he turned it down because he never read the books, couldn't wrap his head around the script, and had no desire to relocate to New Zealand for 18 months. The producers wanted Connery so badly, they offered him $10 million per film plus a 15% stake in the total gross, which equals out to around an incredible $450 million for just 3 movies. Sir Ian McKellen gladly stepped into the role, and it became one of the highest-grossing film franchises of all time. Number 15. His films have an adjusted gross of $5.3 billion. Sean has over 90 acting credits to his name, and he's been in some incredibly successful films, his most successful being Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which brought in $474 million worldwide. The combined total gross of his films is $1.88 billion. However, the majority of his most successful films were in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, so when these box office numbers were adjusted for inflation, the total gross is much higher, over $5.3 billion. There you have it, Aluxers, some interesting, lesser-known facts about Sean Connery. Now that you've learned some more about him, we'd like to know, do you consider Sean Connery to be the best James Bond in the franchise's history? If not, who do you like better? Let us know what you think in the comments. Still here? Here's a bonus fact just for you. Number 16. He was nearly bitten by a shark while filming Thunderball. While filming the 1965 flick Thunderball, Connery was supposed to act in a pool with live sharks, but he was assured that a special plexiglass partition had been built in the pool to keep him separated from the animals. However, during filming, one of the sharks managed to bypass the partition, causing Connery to have to swim for his life to escape the pool. The witnesses said he was nearly bitten by the not-so-happy shark. The special effects director said he got out of the pool so fast, it was like he was walking on water. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.